This will be an audio and video reading of the CES letter by Jeremy Runnells, My Search for Answers to My Mormon Doubts. This document is a very visual document. There are many graphs, charts, and photos. When I encounter those in the text, I will hold them up to the screen, pause your screen at that time to read at your leisure. There is also a link provided in the description that you can follow along with. Click on hyperlinks and check information or responses that the church has issued to these questions. The CES letter, My Search for Answers to My Mormon Doubts by Jeremy T. Runnells. If we have truth, it cannot be harmed by investigation. If we have not the truth, it ought to be harmed. President J. Reuben Clark. To my beautiful young children, that you may one day understand. In Jeremy's email to the CES director at the time, thank you for responding to my grandfather's request to answer my concerns and questions, and for offering your time with me. I appreciate it. I'm interested in your thoughts and answers, as I have been unable to find official answers from the church for most of these issues. It is my hope that you're going to have better answers than many of those given by unofficial apologists, such as Fair Mormon and the Neil A. Maxwell Institute, formerly FARMS. I'm just going to be straightforward in sharing my concerns. Obviously, I'm a devastated member who lost his testimony, so it's no secret which side I'm on at the moment. All this information is a result of over a year of intense research and an absolute rabid obsession with Joseph Smith and church history. With this said, I'd be pretty arrogant and ignorant to say that I have all the information and that you don't have answers. Like you, I put my pants on one leg at a time and I see through glass darkly. You may have new information and or new perspective that I may not have heard or considered before. This is why I'm genuinely interested in what your answers and thoughts are to these issues. I've decided to put down in writing just about all the major concerns that I have. I went through my notes from the past year of research and compiled them together. It doesn't make sense for me to just lay out 5 concerns while also having 20 other concerns that legitimately challenge the truth claims of the LDS Church. A quick description of my background might help you understand where I'm coming from. I was a very active and fully believing member my entire life up until around the summer of 2012. My grandpa already outlined my life events to you in his email, so I think you get the idea that I accepted and embraced Mormonism. In February 2012, I was reading the news online when I came across the following news article: Mormonism besieged by the modern age. In the article was information about a Q&A meeting at Utah State University that LDS Church historian, General Authority, Elder Marlon K. Jensen gave in late 2011. He was asked his thoughts regarding the effects of Google on membership and people who are leaving in droves over church history. Elder Marlon K. Jensen's response, quote, "Maybe since Kirkland, we've never had a period of, I'll call it apostasy, like we're having now, largely over these issues," end quote. This truly shocked me. I didn't understand what was going on or why people would leave over history. I started doing research and reading books like LDS historian and scholar Richard Bushman's Joseph Smith, Rough Stone Rolling, and many others to try to better understand what was happening. The following issues are among my main concerns. Book of Mormon. Book of Mormon translation. First vision. Book of Abraham. Polygamy/polyandry. Prophets, Kinderhook plates and translator claims, testimony and spiritual witness, priesthood restoration, witnesses, temples and Freemasonry, science, other concerns, conclusion, sources and notes, epilogue. The Book of Mormon, concerns and questions. Quote, "The Book of Mormon is the keystone of our testimony. Just as the arch crumbles if the keystone is removed, so does all the church stand or fall with the truthfulness of the Book of Mormon." President Ezra Taft Benson. The Book of Mormon, keystone of our religion. Quote, "Everything in the church, everything, rises or falls on the truthfulness of the Book of Mormon, and by implication the prophet Joseph Smith's account of how it came forth. It sounds like a sudden death proposition to me. Either the Book of Mormon is what the prophet Joseph said it is, or this church and its founder are false, fraudulent, a deception from the first instance onward." End quote. Jeffrey R. Holland. True or False? New Era, June 1995. Question 1. What are 1769 King James Version edition errors doing in the Book of Mormon? A purported ancient text. Errors which are unique to the 1769 edition that Joseph Smith owned. Question 2. When King James translators were translating the King James Version Bible between 1604 and 1611, they would occasionally put in their own words into the text to make the English more readable. We know exactly what these words are because they're italicized in the King James Version Bible. What are these 17th century italicized words doing in the Book of Mormon? Word for word, what does this say about the Book of Mormon being an ancient record? Isaiah 9, verse 1, the King James Version. "Nevertheless, the dimness shall not be such as was in her vexation, when at the first he lightly afflicted the land of Zebulun and the land of Nephtali, and afterward did more grievously affect her by the way of the sea, beyond Jordan, in Galilee of the nations." 2 Nephi 19, verse 1, translation of the same verse. "Nevertheless, the dimness shall not be such as was in her vexation." The above example, 2 Nephi 19, verse 1, dated in the Book of Mormon to be around 550 BC, quotes nearly verbatim from the 1611 AD translation of Isaiah, chapter 9, verse 1, the King James Version, including the translator's italicized words. Additionally, the Book of Mormon describes the sea as the Red Sea. The problem with this is that Christ quoted Isaiah in Matthew 4:14 through 15, and did not mention the Red Sea. Red Sea is not found in any source manuscripts, and the Red Sea is 250 miles away.